Morning, friends. Happy Monday. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend celebrating Mother's Day with all the grandmoms, moms, aunts, and special women in your life. Today is day 35 in your contingency packet. It is May 11th, 2020, and this week is going to be the last week of your work in contingency packet 3. So please stay up to date on information about packet drop-off, which is going to be very important. I will keep your parents updated. The packet drop-off will be at Fine School, and it will be in the upcoming weeks. I'm not exactly sure of an exact date or an exact time, but I will let you know as soon as I know, okay? And then we will be rolling out some more work that you guys can complete for the rest of the school year at home, all right? But today we're going to get into our work. For social studies, we have pages 25 and 26. You're going to be reading about immigrants today. For your Jumpstart activity, tell someone what country you would travel to if you could. So if you could pick any country in the world to go, where would that be, right? You're going to read about who immigrants are, how they have helped our country, and how they still live in our country today. At the bottom, it says, how do you think immigrants make our town, Pennsauken, a more interesting place? So what do they bring to our country to make it more, to our town to make it more interesting? And you're going to read about that here. Okay. For writing, as always, you should be picking 10 of these prompts, any 10 that you find most interesting, 5 sentences each. I suggest that you write for 10 to 15 minutes each day. It's very important you stay up to date with your writing skills. If you finish with your prompts and you want more writing to do, you can always keep a daily journal that you just write about your feelings or what you did for the day, anything like that, just to keep your writing up to date. Make sure that you're ready for second grade. For foundations today, you just have this one page. You're going to follow the color code at the top. You're going to read the words, and you're going to color them as is stated on this color code. So for long A words that have the A sound, like wave, you're going to color it blue. For long I words that have the I sound, like, you're going to color yellow. You're going to do the same thing at the bottom here for the trick words, okay, but with different colors. For math today, you're going to do some work with the 2D and 3D shape attributes. Remember, the attributes in a shape are not defined by color or size. That's very important to remember. So we only define 2D shapes by their vertices, which are points, and by their sides, okay? And for 3D shapes, we only define 3D shapes by their flat surfaces, or we can call them faces, their vertices or their points, and their edges, okay? They're not defined by their color or their size. So you're going to do some work with number 1 for squares. Number 2 and 3, you're going to do the same thing with cones and hexagons. But then right here, they're just going to have you write one sentence explaining how you know, and that can just be a short sentence explaining the shape's attributes. So for example, number 2, all of these shapes are cones, and here they are here. You're going to circle what is true. All cones are blue. All cones have one flat surface. All cones have one edge. All cones have one vertex. So for this one, you're only going to circle 2 things. All cones have one flat surface, which is on the bottom, and one vertex, which is on the top. Not all cones are blue. Some cones can be, I've seen orange cones. I've seen tan ice cream cones. Okay, I've seen pink ice cream cones. They're not all blue. And cones have no edges. Okay, so that's not true either. So your sentence is just going to say something like this. All cones have one flat surface and have one vertex. You're basically just going to repeat what you already circled. It's just another way to practice your writing. Same thing with number 3 when you're talking about hexagons. For numbers 4 and 5, you're going to use the arts and crafts problem at the top with the picture here. I'll read it for you. It says, Wes has cubes, spheres, cylinders, and cones. These are all 3D shapes. He wants to use these shapes to make art pieces for an arts and crafts sale at his school. Wes wants to put together the right shapes for each piece of art. So for number 4, let's start with that one. Wes wants to put together one shape that has 6 faces and one shape that has no flat surfaces. What shapes can he use? Explain. So friends, there's only one shape up here that has 6 faces. Okay, look at the sphere. It has no faces. The cone only has 1, and the cylinder has 2. Okay, so the only shape left is the cube. So you could write, Wes uses a cube that has 6 faces, and then he needs one more shape that has no flat surfaces. Again, there's only one shape up here that has no flat surfaces, 0. Okay? So try and figure that out on your own. Number 5, same thing. Wes puts 2 cubes together to make a new shape. So he takes 2 of these and puts them together. Tell what shape Wes made and one thing that is true about the new shape. So when he puts 2 of these together, it's no longer going to be a cube, okay? Because a cube has all squares around it. This is going to look like something different, okay? Hopefully you remember what it is. If not, that's okay. We were having a little bit of trouble with this shape. It's a tricky one, okay? But it's not a cube. It starts with the word rectangle. Hopefully that gives you guys a good hint. And you're just going to write a sentence there to finish that problem. Alrighty, friends, this week you're going to start a brand new story. It is called Little Rabbit's Tale. It's by Wong Herbert Yi, and it's illustrated by Richard Bernal. Okay, so this is a fun story. It's obviously a fantasy because you see already that there's an animal character who is acting like a human. Probably going to be some dialogue in this story, or in other words, animals talking, the characters talking. So this week for our Zoom, which I'm going to have tomorrow, Tuesday at 10 a.m., I'm going to be reading Little Rabbit's Tale. We'll have a little discussion about it, and we can complete some work together on Little Rabbit's Tale. So again, tomorrow at 10 a.m., please bring your Little Rabbit's Tale story to follow along as I read. All right, so after you finish reading it today for the first time, you're going to complete this words to know page on page 12, and then you're going to complete compound words. This is something that is exciting to get into in first grade, and we're going to start this in Foundations a little later. So for number 1, you see compound words are when you take 2 small words and put them together to make a new word. Okay, so they're going to have 2 syllables. So for this word here, this is bath, tub. Now, bath and tub can be words on their own, but they also can come together to become compound words, right? And you're going to do the same thing with the rest. Okay, all right, if you guys have any questions regarding this work, please let me know, and I hope to see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. for our Zoom. Have a great day.